Some call it winter, but we call it ski season. And if you want to be ready to make the most of the powder this year, then this video series is for you. Here at Wilder, we use the Adventure Ready model to get you ready for the adventures of your life. And this video in particular is talking about how to work on stability for skiing. So you'll want to check out all 3 videos in the series. We're talking about stability in one of them, then strength, and then power. And subscribe to this channel if you're getting value from it. My name is Alicia Williams. I am an avid skier and ex-ski racer and a certified CPT through the Canadian Society for Exercise Physiology. Wilder offers 8-week programs to help you get ready for the adventures of your life, skiing included. But this video is going to focus on our top 6 exercises for stability that you can use on the slopes. And it's going to teach you how to implement those stability training into your gym time. Now let's start by talking about my top 6 exercises from this category. And these exercises come from kind of 2 buckets. The first one is going to be injury prevention so that we don't have an early ending to our time on the slopes. And the second is from the enjoyment, or making sure you enjoy your time on the slopes the most, so the performance side of training. So what we'll do first is talk about these 6 exercises, and I'll give you some demos from the gym as well. And then we're going to go into how to implement them into your training. So what kinds of sets and reps and rest that you're going to need to make the most of this. My first exercise that I'm going to tell you about is a wall lean with leg lift. And that's a long name, but this is a good exercise to give a try to. What you're going to want to do is get set up 1.5 to 2 feet from a wall. The taller you are, the farther you're going to have to be from that wall. And then continue to lean into that wall by pressing your elbow and forearm against the wall. You're going to shift your hips towards the wall and put your weight into your outside foot, getting into a stacked ski-like position. From there, I want you to lift your bottom leg up towards your hips. The slight lean in your torso and the way that you're leaning into the wall should mean you have to tighten your core to make that leg come off the ground. And that is the focus of this exercise, making sure we develop a strong torso that we can use on the slopes. The second exercise I recommend for building stability for skiing is a Cossack squat into a seated internal rotation. Now, it's another long name, but we're going to talk about what it looks like today. So what you want to do for this exercise is get set up with a very wide stance. You want to feel a little bit of a stretch through your groin. This stance width is going to be different depending on who you are. From that position, you're going to move one hip bone as close as you can to the heel on the same side without your heel coming off the ground and without your knee diving in towards the middle. While you're doing this, your torso should be tall as well. You're going to want to take this position, move as close as you can to the ground. As soon as you are seated on the ground, you are then unweighted through the leg that you're bending. You're going to move that knee to the ground, come back up and stand. Now this is a challenging exercise. It does mimic some recovery positions that we might get into if we hit something unexpected on the slopes. And so what we want to do is move through our current strong range of motion for this exercise. So if we can't quite get to the floor, then what we're going to want to do is bring that movement to a box or step or low surface so that you are unweighted when you do your internal rotation with your loaded leg. So we do not want to load the leg while we're going into internal rotation. Instead, we want to move strong and stable all the way to the bottom of the movement, bring that knee in, and if that was all good to go for you, you can then work on coming out of that movement exactly the opposite way you went into it. So moving your knee back into a strong position, pushing with the heel down and the toes down to come right back up to standing. Our third exercise is a jump to lateral pause. What we're going to do here is start on 2 feet, jump up onto a raised surface, and pause as soon as we land with a strong and stable stance. You can start with a low surface for this one so that you're moving with confidence, and then as that confidence grows, you can raise the height of the surface you're jumping onto. Our third stability exercise for skiing is our anti-rotational walking lunges. Now, if you happen to have a partner around, you can do this one with a partner. If you don't, you can mimic it with a band against something sturdy. But what you're going to want to do is get set up so that you have some tension pulling you away from your walking lunge from a straight direction, and you are going to be walking in this position to feel that core working to keep you going in the right direction. Our next exercise is a squat to top hold. All this is starting in a low squat position. You're going to drive up and strong onto your tippy toes and then pause at the top of this movement. This particular exercise, along with the next one I'm going to show you, was tied to a lower risk of ACL injury, which is one of the main things that you see on the ski hill. So doing a few of these, building up that calf strength and stability, is going to help you on those slopes. To do this exercise, you're going to start in your squat position. Now, if you're new to squatting, you could start at a 45-degree angle at the knee joint, but if you feel very strong and stable through the entire range of motion, you can go ahead and start in your bottom squat position. You're then going to drive with dedication and strength and commitment through both your heels and toes at the first part of the movement. Then continue to press into those toes as if you're going to jump, but as you come right up onto your tippy toes, you are going to stop that movement and pause. When you get confident with this movement, you can then mix it up by doing a staggered stance start for these and generally having some fun with it. Our final exercise for stability on the slopes are drop landings. Caution when you're doing this exercise, you should only ever be jumping off of items that you can comfortably jump onto. So don't try this off the top of your house if you can't jump onto the top of your house easily. So that being said, you're going to get set up with a box that you feel comfortable jumping onto, and you are going to jump off of that box starting with 2 feet and landing on 1. To start off with, hands can be in front of you. As you get more confident with this exercise, hands can be on your waist. And when you land on your 1 foot, you are going to pay special attention to how your knee is tracking. We want that knee to stay over the outside toes, and if that movement pattern is difficult for you, you may benefit from having a friend cue you by holding a band around that knee to get you used to the movement. You can also film this one, and that feedback can be hugely helpful in learning to pattern a cueing of the glutes on landings instead of letting that knee dive in and come back out. So those are our 6 stability movements for skiing. Let's talk about how you want to format these or put them into your program. When putting these stability movements into your program, you're going to want to complete 10 or more reps. Should take you about 30 to 60 seconds, and then you want to rest an equal or smaller amount of time than the time it took you to actually do the exercise. We are focusing on strength and endurance in these muscles because they need to serve us for the entire day skiing and not just for a minute at a time. If you want to learn more about how to set up your program, drop a question in the comments. I'm thinking about putting together a video on the Adventure Ready model, which is the model we use to make all of our programs for athletes. That's going to be quite a doozy of a video, so I want to make sure that people actually want it before I put the time into making the video. And a special note, stability can be worked on throughout the season in addition to preseason. So some of these exercises, if you found they serve you, they work as a phenomenal warm-up before you go out on the slopes, and they would also work as part of your program throughout the year, which is not the same as some of the other categories that we talk about in this series. So incorporate these movements into your training and get ready for the best season you have ever had. If you'd prefer to have a preset 8-week program that's made for you, that comes along with accountability if you want it, or that's just sent to you for you to charge with on your own, then check out the link below for our 8-week Ski Ready program. We do a uphill and a downhill version. All the exercises I'm talking about today are largely to do with the downhill skiing portion. Now, there are 3 other videos in this series. There is one on power movements for skiing, one on strength movements for skiing, and one on mobility. So check those out as well. And as always, have a wilder day. See you next time.